Hey guys, forgive this. I was scratching. I have like a mosquito bite and it's super itchy, but I'm going to give everyone some time to join. Let me see here. Let me make sure Veronica got the notification. Let's see. Let's send out a couple here. Hang on just a second. Okay, so when you're popping on, let me know if you're here. Sometimes it doesn't show me who it is, so I can't really like fully interact. But yeah, I'm just gonna give everyone a couple minutes to jump on. I have a mosquito bite right here and it is like so itchy, so ignore that. It looks like I got attacked, but it was just me scratching that mosquito bite. So give everyone, I guess, until like 8:02, 8:03, and we'll get started. Normally, I'm trying this time. We'll see how it works. Normally, I do it the other way where I like hold my phone and I record my Bible while I'm talking, but I have found that over the past month, I tend to like move my phone a lot, and I know that's distracting. Like I rewatch some of the videos and I'm like, wow, like that's kind of like makes me dizzy and stuff. So I'm going to try it this way. It's a lot more uncomfortable for me, but hopefully it works better for y'all. Maybe it'll make it easier to like follow along and feel more like engaged. Hey Natasha, how's Lubbock? I almost asked you how's El Paso, but you're not quite that far out west. Okay, so I guess 60 more seconds or so and we'll let everyone else get on. This is a mosquito bite. I don't know if you got on when I was saying that, so it's not like some sort of like attack mark or anything. It looks super vicious, but it's literally like one small mosquito bite. I'm exhausted today, but I'm here and I'm doing this. It's been quite the week. Like I'm so excited to get out of some of the things that I have going on so that I can share like some testimony with y'all, but I obviously want to wait until I make it through my first anatomy exam. Oh man, girl, I took that in college and I don't even want to talk about how bad I did in that class. Jordan did good in it, but it's like super hard. And I'm sure for you, like it's not like normal like undergrad anatomy either, I bet. That is no fun. No fun. It's 8:02. We should, yeah, let me just send a couple more invites real quick. I want to be sure. No, it's not. Oh yeah, it is. Hang on. I want to make sure everyone gets the notification. I know Facebook like decides who they want to receive the notifications, like some sort of weird like algorithm thing. So this way I know if people get them. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. So Jordan went to this one program, by the way. It was SMDEP like a while back, and he actually had to see cadavers. We were talking about it like literally last week, and he was explaining to me like what it's like in there and like how they pull the bodies up from like underneath like the formaldehyde liquid and stuff. And I'm just like, ugh, like it's so gross. Hey Keisha, how are you? We're trying it this way, Keisha. I don't know, maybe this will work better. I'm not going to turn it to my phone. This is harder for me. Like I get like super awkward. But I feel like it'll be like less shaking, less movement, and just like easier to watch. Hey, Steph. So we're going to go ahead and get started today. I want to thank everyone for coming, obviously. Yes, Stephanie, you did. Yeah, Natasha, no thank you. I don't know how you even go through that. Oh, good. So getting caught up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started today. I'm grateful for y'all to come, by the way. I know it's a Friday and it's 8 o'clock on a Friday. And if you have kids or any type of life, 8 o'clock on Friday isn't always the easiest. But if you have anyone in your life that you feel like would benefit from these, be sure and invite them in. They don't have to go to our church or even really know any of us. They can be a part of our community page and partake in like the Bible studies and stuff. And we leave every video up, as y'all know, for like replays. So if y'all ever miss a study, it will be here like by like, I think, 15-20 minutes after I finish. It should be up so you can catch the replay if you get on late or miss it or whatever. So today I want to talk about powerful words, specifically I guess one word. I know for me, like when it comes to like my walk with God and I stop and I think about like powerful words, I cannot talk, in my life, I think of words like faith, you know, like really like typical words like faith and maybe like loyalty, like loyalty to Jesus and like being like steadfast in my walk with him, and like having perseverance, right? And patience is a big one also. But I want to talk specifically about one word that kind of jumped out to me while I was studying my Bible the other day, because I feel like it's one word that if I had to describe myself using this word, it would be that I'm the opposite of it. And I feel like as women, it's probably really easy for us to feel this word and really feel like maybe we aren't this way, right? And I want to speak some life back into y'all today and just kind of remind y'all who we are. So that word is actually equipped. So I want to talk about that and kind of what it means. If you know me, you probably know I'm like a huge dictionary fanatic. I love to like look up words and like really understand what they mean. Like even the most simple words, like equipped, like obviously like we think we know what that means, but sometimes like when you're studying your Bible and you like look up a word in the dictionary, it like gives so much more depth to your study. And so that's what I did while I was studying the other day, and I looked up equipped. And I'm going to read with y'all. I have the definition right here, like the actual definition from Webster on what equipped means. And it means to supply with the necessary items for a particular purpose. And then it has a second definition: prepare someone mentally for a particular situation or task. And I feel like whenever you look at this definition in light of what we're going to study today and what we're going to learn that Jesus has said about us, it gives it so much more power. So in light of Christianity, right, in light of us accepting Jesus and walking with Jesus, we know from this definition, right, that we've been made with a specific purpose. Like none of us are put here really to just walk on earth and like just get through life. Like we all have been given a purpose, and sometimes maybe we don't know our purpose. Sometimes answering to our purpose isn't necessarily easy for us. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, or sometimes we haven't quite figured out like, okay, I feel called in this area, or I feel like I need to go and do this, or I feel like I maybe even need to, it could be as simple as giving a homeless man a meal or whatever. And you're trying to figure out how you're going to make that happen. You're stuck in traffic. It's on the other side of the highway, whatever. It can be something huge like missionary work. It can be something more on the daily level. But we're all called for something. And so the definition of equipped kind of reminds us, if you look at it in light of our walk with Christ, that we do have a particular purpose. And the second part of that definition says that we're prepared mentally, right, for a particular situation or task. And so whenever we're equipped with Christ, we are given this mentality, this thought process, this gift of Christ-like thinking that's going to make it so much easier for us to really just embrace our walk with God, answer our call, and get through our day-to-day lives. Like we don't have to kind of like a bull in a china closet. We don't have to go through life like that, like just running super fast and breaking everything around us, trying to figure out how we're going to get from point A to point B without like causing a ton of problems, right? Because I know for me sometimes this past 2 weeks, honestly, and I'm sure Jordan can agree, it's been like, can anything else go wrong? It's like, seriously, I'm sure y'all have had those moments where it's like a ton of little things, and you know that in 2 months from now, you're going to look back and be like, I cannot believe I was worried about that, But in reality, we forget on the day-to-day level how minuscule our problems are. Like we're not looking at them from that God point of view where we're top down looking at it. I know Randy's talked about that when he's preaching, like kind of from an airplane looking down how small things are. We don't look at life a lot of times as Christians from that perspective. And that's how God sees our problems. He sees things in such a big picture that, it's really not that big of a deal. And we forget how equipped we've been. The definition even lets us know that whenever we accept Christ, knowing that definition, it allows us to be mentally prepared to kind of go through life. And this is huge for me. 90% of our battles, I feel, if not more than that, for me, probably close to like honestly 100 are all in my own head. Like if I can get past me, I am literally created to be enough and to be equipped enough to attack whatever I need to attack. It can be dishes sometimes, like seriously, those are waiting for me at home. And it can be like something even bigger than that, like answering a call or stepping outside of your comfort zone, or just, taking risks and doing those things. But God wants us to know that we've all been equipped. And if you ever don't feel like that, I'm going to give you some verses here that are going to speak that life back into you. And I'm huge on this. It's changed my life. Like really reading my Bible and knowing the truths about who I am. It's like so much more than just reading Jesus's journey, and he was more than a person. Like everything he did had a purpose for us. And today I want to talk about kind of his purpose in equipping us and what that really means to us. So we're going to turn to James chapter 1, verse 4. And I'll give y'all just a second to get there. I'm going to go over there too with y'all. And after this study, y'all let me know what y'all think. Hey, Sam, let me know what y'all think. If y'all like it better, like facing outwards to me, or if you like looking at my Bible while I'm doing this lesson better. Like, this is like such a learning process for me. And I've seen like different things that can let you record down, but it's kind of a hassle. And some of them I'm just like, ugh. I ordered one offline. It was like not even worth the money. So now I'm afraid to order a different one. So if y'all like this better, let me know. I feel like it's easier to like interact, and sometimes I forget and I end up like showing y'all my steering wheel for 5 minutes while I'm talking. So, all right. So James 1 verse 4 says, "And let the steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." Awesome, Sam. I thought so. I like it too. Honestly, I'm like awkward right now and I look like crazy. This is how I look most of the time. So I've like avoided doing this because I'm like, I don't want to scare anybody. But, yeah, so James 1:4, "And let the steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in absolutely nothing." Okay? And this is so, like, this literally will change things in your life. Like, bear with me for just a second while I kind of break this down for y'all. This is going to go against, James 1:4 goes against everything that our flesh is going to tell us. Everything that this world is going to tell us. The world is not going to tell you that you're perfect, nor is your flesh. Your flesh in this world are not going to tell you that you're complete or that you're not lacking in anything. Like, sometimes it's really easy to see how we lack, you know, whether it's financially, emotionally, whatever, in relationships, whatever it may be. We realize what we think that we lack, but in reality, we're never truly lacking if we have Jesus, if that makes sense. And I know that that sounds really cliche, because whenever you're really in a like tough spot in life, you're like, okay, like those words sound great. I was there this morning, like those words sound great, but it's just really not my day right now. It really hasn't been my past week, you know? But it's like you have to remember that they're not just words. Like, our issues that we go through in life are very fleshly. Like, we're not having to fight for salvation. Like, that would be a true issue. You know, if like every sin we had to go locate the best cow possible, like, we're not fighting for our salvation. So when we look at our life in light of our salvation, it should really diminish a lot of the problems that we're having. And a lot of the times it's that we don't realize how equipped we are. We don't realize that, okay, we have all these issues around us, but in reality, we are more than ready to kind of rise to the occasion and fight whatever it may be, or make the right choice, or make the hard choice, or do whatever it is. We are equipped and fully capable. So a lot of times we're creating our own battles just right there, with not realizing that we're capable of fighting these things, right? Or making these decisions. So I want to talk also, I know, like, here we go again with the definitions, but in James 1:4, it says the word steadfast. And I kind of thought, like, when I read this, I was like, oh, okay, like steadfast, right? Like persevering, or like being like dead set on something, you know, pursuing it relentlessly. But I looked up the definition because I thought, like, you know, maybe it'd have something a little extra for me. And it did. So whenever it comes to us thinking about life and living it equipped, the definition of steadfastness from Webster is resolutely or dutifully firm and unwavering. And I really, really like this. So when we think about, I'm trying to think of the best way to word this here. So when we think about being equipped, right? Like, we're not just going to wake up and go run a marathon. So we're going to do little things every day, preferably taking very minimal time off to get us to an end goal, especially if that marathon has like a specific date. Like, we're going to actually compete on this certain day. We need to be sure that we're doing the things up to that point. Salvation is the same way. So while we haven't earned our salvation, it's a gift to us, but to live life equipped with the ultimate goal of dying feeling like you've really lived out your purpose on this earth, you know, dying without regrets, dying without feeling like, man, I really should have served God a lot harder. There were a lot of times I could have ministered about him and I didn't. There were a lot of times that I was so busy looking at my own problems that I couldn't see other people around me hurting, which I think that was last week's lesson. We weren't, you know, we didn't live out our life fully in the equipment. No, I don't think that's the right word. We didn't live out our life feeling equipped like God had given us, right? So the definition really makes it clear kind of what we need to do to be equipped, right? We need to be firm. We need to be unwavering in our faith. And so what that means is, you know, we obviously need to be in the Word. So whenever we have issues come up, because we're equipped, it's going to change our perspective, which is going to change our reality. Because if we think we don't have a lot of problems, at the end of the day, if you're really grounded in the Word and you look at things from that point of view, like, these problems are very minuscule. These problems or these issues, whatever, this lack is so worldly. And I'm kind of like, I'm above it. Like, it exists. It is an issue, but it doesn't define me. It doesn't change me. Those types of things. With our perception, eventually you start to mold your reality, and you don't give the enemy a stronghold in your life. So for me, finances, obviously, I think it's kind of a big one for everyone, right? Like, nobody wants to not have somewhere to live or not have enough money to eat. And these are issues that a lot of people in like third world countries have. But I think us as Americans, especially just, younger women, like, they're issues. Like, we all have to make sure that we're making the ends meet and we're doing the things that we need to do. And so it's important to remember, even in light of that we are not lacking, that God will always provide. And so when we look at things from that aspect, maybe, no, we don't have this car, or maybe, no, we don't have this goal achieved or that goal achieved, but we have our salvation. So at some point we have to realize, just like the Bible said, we're not lacking really in anything, that our lack is in our own mind, essentially. So we need to kind of retrain our minds to actually... Yes, thank you, Priscilla. I'm glad that hit home with you. So we need to change our mindset of it, because it's going to allow us to really dwell in this sense of completeness, just like the Bible says in James, to dwell in that completeness that we've been given. We get to stand firm in it. We get to be unwavering in it. And a lot of times, like I said, it's easier said than done. Like, I can sit here and preach it all day, but I still have to go home in a minute and go back to reality, right? Like, it's... At the end of the day, like, obviously my reality is not that bad, guys. I have a really good life, but it's easy to kind of get wrapped up in the day-to-day and kind of feel a little bit daunted. I think that girl thought I was taking a selfie. That was awkward. She was like looking at me real weird, but so it's really easy to get caught up in our day-to-day, right? And let our perspective be so negative and daunting, like, I got kids, I got this, I got that, I can't do what I want, and not really realize that we're living in such a blessed environment, in the sense that our salvation's already there, and God has equipped us to handle whatever we're going through. Not that it's going to be easy, not that it's going to be enjoyable all the time, but we're equipped to handle it. And what more could we ask for, right? So today, a little story time. I went to my mother-in-law's, and I go there, like, honestly, I don't know why we rent an apartment. Like, we're there that much. Like, might as well. The only difference is we just come here to sleep. Like, we're there all the time. So we were over there again this morning for coffee, and my mother-in-law, if y'all know her, she's super sweet. Betty is like amazing. So you can be really honest with this woman, because she is going to love you through your flaws no matter what. And the best thing about her, I think, is that she's one of the few people, maybe even like the only person that I know on this deep of a level, that's able to like love you while you're hurting, but also like shove you out of a pit. So if you're like in a bad spot mentally, she's going to love you, and she's going to make you feel emotionally validated. But then she's also going to equip you to get out and like kind of help you change your perspective. And that's what she did today. And it really hit home with me what she said. So this week, it's been kind of like anything that could go wrong can, and it will. And this morning, on top of everything else that's gone on this week, I'm changing Hudson's diaper, and he's being super difficult. Bless his heart. He's teething like 3 or 4 teeth at the same time. And he's in what they call like a wonder week, where their brain kind of develops real fast and it makes them fussy, and poor guy's having a hard time. So I jump up thinking I'm going to grab the baby powder really quick, and I hit my hip on my side table by the bed, and I spill wax everywhere because I have a wax melt right there. I'm not kidding you. I really thought, as that wax flew in the air, that Satan like multiplied it times 10, because it looked like a gallon of wax. And I'm like, wow, it was like one wax melt in there, and it's like thick and stuck on this like glass, the glass side tables that I have. Devastated. I was so devastated this morning. And it was just like the straw that broke the camel's back. So I go over to Betty's, and I'm kind of like communicating this to her, right? And I'm frustrated, but I'm communicating it to her with the filter, right? I'm smiling, I'm laughing it off, but in reality, I'm like super mad because I can't get that off my side table. And she tells me something that was like super life-changing, and it really just, in that split second, it left her mouth and it changed me. And I hope it changes y'all too. It really just gave me perspective. I had finished my story by telling her I really feel like the closer that I'm pulling to God, the more resistance I'm getting everywhere else in my life. Like, literally every other aspect of my life right now, I have a lot of resistance. And it's like the closer that I'm pulling, the harder other things get, right? And she told me this. She reminded me who I am and who she sees me to be. And then she also told me who my creator is, and reminded me that that same person that my creator is in me. right? So I'm kind of like, I need to be above all these other issues that I'm having in life. And then she blew my mind with this last one, and it's amazing. So she looks over at me and she told me that I'm giving the enemy too much credit in my life because I gave him credit for multiplying the wax that was flying through the air. She said, you're giving him too much credit. And it made me stop and think, and I was just like, wow. Like when she said that, I thought, you know what? You see the enemy, right? And you see him doing all these things in your life, everything he can to hold you down. But sometimes it's really easy for some reason, like you would think this wouldn't be that hard for us, but it is, I guess, as just humans in our flesh, to see what he's doing and give him so much credit for making life hard, right? So much credit for negative little situations that occur. But we don't give enough credit to the fact that as bad as the enemy can be, our God is literally that much greater than him, like times 10, in levels that I can't even formulate like a super awesome sentence to describe it. Like no matter how much the enemy hates us, God loves us that much more times, infinity. And we don't give that credit to it. And so I had to stop and think today as I was driving back with the boys, am I giving the enemy like too much credit? Like, wow, like Satan, really hard week this week. Like, man, you've been really throwing a lot of punches our way, And in reality, it's like, why am I even going to speak that? Why am I even going to give him that in my life? Why am I going to open the door for him to come in and just say, yeah, I am, and just take credit for it, instead of saying, some things haven't gone my way this week, but man, God has been faithful. God has been so good. God has equipped me to look at these situations and say, you know what? I got this. Nice try, Satan. Keep them coming. That's cute. That's not going to get me down today. And we really have to remember that whenever we're grounded in the word, that Christ is going to remind us that we don't have to live life frenzied. We don't have to live life trying to dodge Satan's blows, because we're equipped. We're equipped so we can stand firm. We can stand planted in the word and say, best shot. Give us your best shot, because our God every time is going to be more than enough. The God that lives within us is going to equip us to be more than enough, more than capable. We're created perfect, like I said, in his image, right? James also says that we're complete and that we lack in nothing. And I know that today's world, it's all about envy, right? Like even on Facebook, it's easy to see like, oh, so-and-so got a new car. Wow, so-and-so's life's better than mine. We get envious. Or, it can be little things like that. It can be big things. Like if you're not married yet and you want to be married and you see these people getting married and you're like, wow, like that's great for you, or whatever the case may be, we forget that we don't lack in anything. And when we look at life through that perception of being fully equipped through Christ, it changes our entire reality. So turn with me now to Matthew 24, verse 35. This is not the longest verse, and today whenever it jumped out to me, I was like, wow, like I've read that so many times, I've heard it in so many sermons, but I felt like today it applied to this, and I've never really heard it never really heard it applied in this way. So I'll give y'all time to turn there. Let me catch up here. Hi, Aunt Charlotte, good to see you. Or yeah, I guess see you. Let's see here. Yes, Steph. I'm reminded. Yes, nothing happens outside God's will. Like we can try and stray, but ultimately, yeah, like his protection is the world's largest umbrella, right? So turn with me, Matthew 24:35. It says, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not. And I love this. We need to remember that a lot of things that we're so concerned about are so temporary. They're fleeting, What's a big deal this year or today, tomorrow won't be, and 5 years from now, we're going to laugh at it, right? And whenever we look at life like that, the only thing that's everlasting is the Bible. And so are we putting so much stock into trying to figure out how our life is going to work out, how things are going to pan out? Is this going to get better? Is that going to get better? Like those are all fleeting moments, but we need to be planted in the word. And sometimes when we do that, we're going to pull closer to God, right? We're going to pull closer to Jesus. And it might seem like things are like out of whack outside of that. Things are just kind of falling apart, but we have to remember the God that we serve, and that he's told us in James that if we will just be steadfast, if we will just be unwavering, if we will be firmly planted in his word, that all of these other things are going to be a byproduct of that. We're going to be made perfect. We're going to be lacking in nothing. We're resilient, essentially. We're going to be very resilient people, able to bounce back no matter really what we're going through. And, God knew. I truly think he did. I think this was probably a thought more or less, that he had. Like, he knew we're going to come in this world, especially after the Garden of Eden. Life wasn't going to be easy. Like, that was a given from that sin. Life as God had intended it was not going to take place. It was going to be, a fight for God. He was going to have to send his son. There were going to have to be things that were going to have to be done to reconcile us back to him. So, I forgot where I was going with that, guys. I had a baby almost 10 months ago, and the baby brain, I guess, sticks. Oh, yeah, duh. Okay, I remember now. So all this goes on, right? And he knows that he's going to have to leave us something after Jesus leaves to equip us, and that is his word. So he knew that it's not going to be easy, but he wanted to be sure we had somewhere to go back to, like a home base, somewhere we can retreat to every single day and refill our cup, pour ourselves kind of a big helping of just salvation and peace, and that's from the Bible. And whenever we do that, it's going to really help us feel more equipped and thrive more, essentially. Through that, we've been left basically like a roadmap, if you think about it. Obviously, this book was written a long time ago, but no matter how long ago it was written, it's still relevant because it was written by the ultimate author, or at least inspired by the ultimate author. Obviously, God didn't write these pages, but he inspired the ones who did. And so he ensured that through all the ages that we're going to pass in this world, it's always going to be relevant. So whenever you seek his relevance, when it comes to feeling like you can handle something, or you feel like you need to be equipped, you have to seek it from the standpoint of this book being divine, right? Like that it's living, it's alive, it can speak to you, it's ageless. And when you pray that over your life, it's really easy to kind of feel more equipped and to really let God speak to you. So I totally encourage that. And in closing today, if you've been feeling like you're underqualified for anything, whether it's a calling, parenting, I don't know, like whatever you could be going through, it really doesn't even have to be something big. Like maybe it's like trying to get your health back in check or whatever, and you feel like you don't know where to get started or whatever. Just know that no matter how underqualified you think you are, how overwhelmed you are, maybe like you're running in circles, I guess, pull back like every day. Find some time, whether it's early in the morning, late at night, lunch break, bathroom break, bath time, shower, like whatever you need to do, pull back. Spend some time with Jesus. Really just re-ground yourself into the word, and know that Jesus is seriously there waiting. He's eager and he's more than willing to fill your cup back up every single day and to remind you that you are capable and you are equipped for whatever journey you have ahead of you. So I will see y'all next Friday. As usual, if you have prayer requests, you can put them here and we'll pray for you, or you can message us at the Her Soul Collective site. I don't think you can message us off this group, but you just hit message on our actual page and we can pray for you that way too. But I'm going to pray right now if y'all want to pray with me. God, we just come to you today and thank you for the ability to worship you, Lord, and to just kind of be in your word together, Lord, through social media. Honestly, one of the many blessings, oh sorry guys, there's like a guy right there scared me, through the many blessings that you have bestowed upon us, Lord, and we just pray that today that everyone that partook in the study and those that will catch it on the playback feel equipped to take whatever challenges they might have in life headstrong, and to just remain firm, Lord, in your word, and know your truth that James 1:4 says, Lord, that you created us perfect, and that through our steadfastness we will lack in nothing, Lord. So I just pray that we'll end our week and start next week, Lord, feeling equipped and fully capable, Lord, and bless everyone that partook in the study today and just everyone in general, Lord, in your name, amen. So guys, like I said, if you have like private prayers, feel free to reach out to us, to me even, or Sam. She's on here too. You can reach out to her. We love to pray for y'all. So I will see y'all next Friday at 8 p.m. If y'all really liked this, be sure to let me know if y'all like it like this way, or if you prefer it to be like looking down at my Bible. I think I'll keep it this way. Just know a lot of times I'm going to be looking crazy because it's 8:30 now on a Friday. It's been a long week for me and the boys. But yeah, so if y'all can bear with this, then I definitely don't mind either. and being in my car, because my toddler's not going to let this happen at home. He's just not. So I hope y'all had a good time in this study, guys. And like I said, let me know if y'all need any prayers, and I'll see y'all next Friday at 8. Bye.